I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome, AfterBuzzers. We are back. Greenleaf, Season 5, Episode 1, the first day. I'm your host, Shaka Smith, joined by my lovely co-host, QueenEsther Ekanem. How you doing, QueenEsther?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm so excited. I can't believe Season 5.
I know the last season,
Wow.
I'm like excited, but a little sad, but just excited for the way it began.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm very honored to be here with you also. So it's going to be an excited season so far.
Yeah, glad to have you next week. Glad to have you next week. We will actually have a full panel next week, so that'll be exciting as well. But today we're going to be talking about the truth about hope and harmony. Bishop and Mae reunite in another heartbreak for grace. So let's get into it. What were your overall thoughts of this episode?
Sad, revealing, just to kind of see how behind the scenes of church life is. And then my favorite, hot water and lemon. Like, I was just like, I am down. I am here for it. We all need hot water and lemon this season right now. So yeah, it was quite interesting first season so far, or first episode rather.
Yeah, I was excited because we started to get a little elements of healing with this family, but then of course it ended in this massive heartbreak, and we know how Grace is always getting it, you know. But let's talk about hope and harmony and finding out the truth. But it begins with that watching Calvary get broken down by hope and harmony. Bishop and Grace are watching that cross go in, and initially Bishop says, you know, something to the effect of, he had to see it so that he can make his next move. But then he's like, maybe I shouldn't have seen it because it's starting to break him. What did you think about that?
I actually agree with his first thoughts. I think sometimes, you begin something in life and it's nice to see, not nice, but it's good to see the ending. Even if the ending might not be what you predicted it to be, it's good to see the ending so you know how to tackle your next chapter in your life. So I agreed with him, with his first feeling, with his first thought. But I mean, it is hurting. I think there are certain things that would happen, and you're just like, oh wow, like this is really the end. It's like, fine, you trash my picture, it's okay. I can get on that picture. You trash, some things in the church, that's fine. But when you trash the cross, that's a big symbol that really kind of like binds your faith, with God. And so I think that was really, really hurting for him to see. And obviously for anybody that is really into, religion and just like the church life, seeing that thing that you look at as a symbol of God, I can definitely understand his second feeling, but I still think seeing the breakdown is much better.
Yeah, I agree. I think seeing it, sometimes you have to see it. But when he saw that cross go in, he also knew that it wasn't going to be replaced by godly spiritual people that are coming in to do something even better, So I think it was the idea that it's just not going in to be replaced by something better. They're actually removing this from the community,
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we also see from that, we also go into Phil and Charity, and that was, a relationship that, it was interesting to see them back on screen together. Oh my gosh. What do you think about that whole meeting?
Well, first of all, I was like, go girl, you did it. I'm like, it's about time you got some, whatever it is you have. I can't even say you got some
backbone,
Some backbone, yes. I thought it was shady. I thought it was wonderful. I'm like, yes, do it. But it was also childish.
Yeah.
Let's just be very honest.
I'm just so sick of Phil, though. He's always asking more and more and more of Charity, always wanting more from this girl.
I mean, okay, so let me play the devil's advocate because I like to do that. Let's look at the big picture from two sides. I get where he's coming from. He's worked hard for this. He's sacrificed a whole lot for this. So I don't care like what kind of love that he has for her. He is not about to let anybody think about what he has worked for. But at the same time, just like, okay, you love her, but you don't really. But you love her, but you don't really. It's just, it's very confusing. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
To her
it's
too,
very, but she is allowing it.
Yeah.
She's definitely allowing it. And it's like, you are very intelligent. You have this strong family background. Why can't you see that he's using you? And, it's I feel bad for her, but she should just open her eyes.
Yeah, she's finally getting together, and we see her try to give that ring back to Phil, and she gets the truth about everything. I just hope she doesn't try to fall back in with Phil. No matter where this season goes, I don't care if Phil redeems himself in some way.
She is.
It's over.
Let me save you the trouble. She is. I'll save you the trouble. Don't even worry. She is.
So you think she's just a sucker?
She is a sucker for love, which there's nothing wrong with that. We all are, most of us. And sometimes we're easily influenced by just someone just telling us, oh, I love you, without necessarily seeing the action, or like even just a little action. You think, oh my God, he gives you this little thing and you think it's like, so big. But you also have to understand that she's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Right from the beginning, like being pregnant and then finding out that your husband is not really, in love with you, is in love with an opposite sex, and then losing a child, and, just all those pain is just back to that. So it's almost like, well, like, when am I going to win?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because we forget Charity has been through a lot.
She's been through a lot, and then here is this man that shows her a little atom of like a little what's the word in the Bible? A little mustard seed of love.
Yeah.
People, I'm preaching right here.
Yeah, I'm like, you do it.
Let me grab my Bible. A little mustard seed of love, and she's like, oh my God, this is it. This is the real love, but it's really not.
Yeah.
So I really cannot blame her for just gravitating to him and not really seeing the big picture of like, this man really does not want you. He just wants what his goal has always been. But it's sad. I feel bad for her, but
well, she's seemingly wisening up. I just hope she doesn't go back later. But
I have a good prediction for you though. Towards the end of the show, I'll let you know.
We gotta save those.
I'll let you know.
But of course, if Charity's a sucker, though, I think Grace is obviously oblivious to her love situation. And we see some good tension between her and Darius, but Darius kind of lets her know what's going on with Hope and Harmony and this whole running for the Republican seat.
Yes.
What did you think about the way that Hope and Harmony, or Bob, is trying to use Hope and Harmony to run for political office, and that's been the whole motivation all along?
Well, first of all, before I even get into that, let me just put it out there to the viewers. I am a big fan of Grace's love story, and I do want her to win. Okay, I'm like, Greenleaf, I need you guys to give me that love story. I need you guys to make them work. Like, I love them together. He's so handsome, just very juicy in the godly way, I hope. Very godly. But honestly, having to hear the reasoning why, Hope and Harmony is like really like doing all this dismantling of the church and all that, really gives you that, what does my famous auntie says? The ha-ha moments, Auntie Oprah.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know what you said.
Yes, that's my auntie. We come from the same bloodline. She really gives you that ha-ha moment of like, oh, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
I get it. Because honestly, with them doing that, trying to, capture the church people and so that he can be able to get that vote for the Senate seat, it is like gold tickets for votes for him.
Yeah.
Literally gold tickets for votes, and it kind of gets you thinking, it's like, is that really happening right now?
Yeah.
Is that what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in real life right now, is it really happening at this moment?
We saw Donald Trump walk over to that church and hold the Bible up, so we know. It's crazy because they write these things before these things happen, but we see real life often mirror what we see on TV.
I'm like questioning my church now. I'm like, wait, are you guys doing that to me also? Am I like unknowingly trying to vote for someone that you guys want? It's like opening my eyes.
It's almost a good thing though, because we do have to sometimes dig a little bit deeper. Sometimes we're involved in good things, but what are those good things, So
absolutely. But it was really, really interesting just to see that this is the game plan. Now we have an idea. Now we can know, okay, who do we like, who do we not like? Let's really tackle how we're going to, get back to actually having church, what church is really supposed to be, and try and kick this man out, Yeah,
it was like everybody before was scheming, but scheming for scheming to be the religious voice in the community, but now it's just pure politics. And so now we've crossed the line. But another line that was crossed in a good way is Bishop and Mae. This was the most exciting for me, of course. Finally, we've had these moments where they were kind of getting back together, reconciling, but you want to see it happen the right way. What did you think about it? I'm sure we all had the same feeling.
I loved it. I was happy. I think for me, the moments where I felt like, okay, it's about time is when Bishop finally told Lady Mae, like, I see the things that you can do that I could not do anymore.
Yeah.
It's no longer about me trying to lead the church. It's about both of us trying to do that. And I think a lot of time, pastors always, especially like the male pastors always feel like it's just them. Yeah. But like, look, without your wife, you cannot do this. You cannot do this. Like, let her be your partner. Let her help you, be able to lead this church, because you would have the female, members that are looking up to your wife, So it's nice to get, see her out there preaching, and to see that she also has that spiritual discernment, that connection with God, and being able to like preach the word, and people can actually listen to her and tap into that anointing was definitely refreshing. So I think for me, seeing that moment where it feels like I cannot do this anymore, we need to start a new church together as a partner, was definitely a good redefining moment for, I think actually would set the whole season straightforward for us.
Yeah, and what I love, we don't necessarily have the experience, but I think sometimes when you are in a 20, 30, 40-year marriage, you can get stuck in these roles, and your partner can stop seeing you for what you can do, because
absolutely,
time has already solidified stuff. So it was great to see him have that mind to be able to change.
Yeah, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot to be able to just change for someone that's been the leader for so long. You really go from grace to grass, and then you see your wife picking up the grass and getting up to the grace. Oh, that was a word. Hold up, people. That was a word. I'm preaching.
I'm preaching
today. So just to see that, I think, I'm very proud of him, and, and I think everybody else should be proud to see him say, you know what, I cannot do this on my own. I'm going to do this with my wife, and we're going to do this right, and bring God back into the church.
Yes, and of course we see on the flip side of that, Kerissa and Jacob, separating. I found myself actually rooting for them now. I see the regret on Carissa's face. I see what could have been. What is there a way? She's almost trying to figure it out, if there's a way to get it back.
But she's playing hard to get. She's playing tough woman. Like she's just playing. She's playing with her marriage.
But she's hurt too. She's hurt too.
Yeah. But I think she's more hurt on herself than with him.
I think she's disappointed in herself, but in her mind, she's still got to be, all of this stems from your original infidelity, right? In her mind, maybe all of this stems from you breaking it, so then that put me in a position to feel like I needed to break it later. What do you think about that dichotomy, or how does she get over that? How does she come to a place of healing where she can say, look, I forgive you, forgive me, let's move this on?
Well, I feel like when he made his mistakes, he came and said, you know what, I'm sorry, I messed up. And if I can remember the past seasons very well, I believe that that's what happened, that he really came and said, I'm sorry. But I feel like she's coming in with like blackmail. She's not really sorry, and I don't know why she would expect him to just be like, oh, okay, you had this disease, wonderful. Well, I cheated on you, so you cheated on me, so 1-1. Okay, now let's get back to being family. It's not going to happen that way. You've heard him, yes, he heard you, he cheated and all that. You guys made up and made it work, and you guys have been doing well. Obviously, him neglecting her emotionally was what led her to going to sleep with someone else. But it's still not really a valuable excuse to go cheat on your husband.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think for her coming in as like, oh, yeah, you didn't get it from the toilet or whatever, I gave it to you. Sorry. There really is no genuine apology. I think if she had gone in with like, you know what, I messed up. This is not the woman that I know that I am. You know, even though you've had your own faults, it's not my intention to do back and forth. You know, you do me, I do you.
That requires her to drop her pride.
Exactly.
And Kerissa, but
she's not willing to do that.
She's not willing to do that probably on her own, but in this family, she can never do that because it almost feels like from day one, they're almost like abusing her. Because remember from day one, they were tolerating Jacob cheating on her. They were tolerating his sort of infidelity on the quiet. So she's always had that armor, but that armor has been her pride, and now she doesn't know how to let it go.
You're right. Now that you say that, okay, I'll let it go also.
I don't know. I just see this. I see the pain on Kerissa's face, and I know she wants to do right, but doesn't know how to do right. She can't find that language yet.
Yeah, she's just being very, very stubborn about it, and I think her using the blackmail is just very low.
Yeah,
it's very, very low. But then she's been trying to get the family money since season 4.
And it's all she got. It's all she has at this point, right?
And all she really wanted was just to go get that big, fabulous house and live that big life that she imagined
that
for
Jacob
herself.
promised her. Jacob promised her that years ago. She didn't get it yet.
He did. Okay, I guess not. Now that you're saying it, you win.
Well, I just want to see Kerissa win. I want
want her to win, but I do want her to drop her pride and know that she also did wrong. You know, I mean, her trying to act all strong is not going to help her marriage, and she's not thinking about her children at this moment. She's only thinking about her pride.
Yeah, she has to have that moment where she has her little come to Jesus moment. She has to have it. And of course, we get Jacob trying to figure out the whole will issue. So he makes a stop back at the ex-mistress. First of all, I mean, we can save some of this from predictions, but I don't know about that child not being his. I don't know.
That child looks. I think it's probably his.
We have. I would say we can save it, but I think it's probably his too, because it's going to make this season a little bit richer if it is his, you know. So I want it to be his. Let me put it that way.
But I wonder why he went back to her, though. I mean, I understand that she has the clue to, you know, to the will and all that. But I was actually expecting him to go back to his previous ex-secretary, not secretary, oh my God, the other pastor's wife.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
That's who I was
on the run, baby.
On the run, yes. When he knocked on the door, that's who I was expecting to see. So when I saw this person, I was like, oh wow, I forgot about her.
Me too. The season is young. We gotta see.
I was like, wait, what season was she in again?
But I did like that Jacob had the moment of apology with her.
Yes.
That, you know,
this
was something genuine. You know, that I had an emotion. I really messed it up.
Yeah. And I think that's really good. I mean, we all make mistakes, and as a human being and as a good Christian, you know, for him to, you know, to just say, you know what, it was bad, I did wrong. I think that was really a defining moment for him also, because I think it's also probably linking to what's going on in his home. Because I almost feel like he's like also thinking, where did I go wrong for my wife to go sleep with someone else?
And it's the thing that Kerissa herself cannot do right now. So we see the growth. They've really switched places in terms of growth.
That's right.
Crazy.
They've switched.
They really have.
That's wonderful. Okay, growth people.
And now we got to talk a little bit about Aaron. And you know, Aaron's helping Jacob with the will, but Aaron also has what should be good news for Grace and AJ.
Yes.
And so Aaron reveals finally that they've caught someone that they believe robbed the pharmacy. AJ's off the hook, and conveniently, this person's also been shot and is accused of other robberies. So case is apparently closed. What did you think about AJ's reaction to that, and of course that penultimate scene at the end?
I was more of like, why can't you just be happy?
Yeah.
You know, but honestly, from the last episode of the last season, when that happened, I almost thought that this guy was an angel.
Yeah, exact same. I thought it was like an angel.
I thought it was okay. Angel, wonderful, because he looked so much like AJ. And then coming into this new season and this new episode, this first episode, seeing how, close and similarities they are in terms of their look and seeing how everything just kind of like switch. I felt, okay, God must have just done this and just, try to wipe away, his sins and just try to give this guy a fresh new start, a fresh new, new life. But AJ cannot fully just really accept it. I still believe that he did not do it. But there is something else inside of him that is killing him, that is making him want to accept this other fault that really is not him. That's what I truly feel inside. And I'm hoping that we see more, in the next coming episode. I don't feel like he did it.
Yeah, that's what was a little confusing for me, because I was like, did he do it and he is just feeling guilty that someone else might have been potentially killed and somewhat wrapped up in that crime as well? Or he didn't do it, but he's feeling guilty for something deep down? And I kind of go with you on the second one, because at this stage, you should be happy. There was no sigh of relief. There was something more that was troubling him. There was nothing, no element of, oh, at least I can breathe for a day longer, So it was a very troubling scene. And then the end, of course, I mean, is AJ dead? I thought he died.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I was looking very closely. He looked, because there's a lot of blood, but I don't know.
There's a lot of blood, but it would make no sense for them to write that, that scene like that, him coming into the first episode and then him just like dying. Like, I just don't think it will make any sense for them to do that. Now, if they wrote it that way, then I need to speak to that writer, because you just, you're not giving me a good ending. I have issues with you,
they're always good though. I find they're good at giving me those moments where I'm like, what's happening? But by the end of the season, they wrap it up in a way that I'm like, okay, it makes sense. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
But when I'm watching that, I get like, if he's dead, if he's died, it doesn't make sense to me right now. But it certainly looked that way.
I think he killed himself out of guilt of that. How can someone else die for, like replacing me and taking my pain, when truly I know that I didn't do it and he probably did not do it, but now someone else is dead because of me.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the hurt that he's feeling. But I'm also thinking that because he's been through such a hard time in life, not really having his parents there to really show him how to be a child, how to live a good life, I almost feel like he does not know how to be happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that whole idea of the prisoner of the mind.
Of the mind. It's still there. Like, he just doesn't know what happiness looks like, what family looks like. And it's going to take a lot of love from like different sections, a lot of love from like different people to be able to break that down, and a lot of prayer. And Lady Mae better be praying also for him. Yeah, I know she's fasting with her lemon and
of
water.
Course, you got the fast.
She's been fasting for him also, because he needs all the fasting prayers, But I think it's gonna take a lot for him to feel that little piece of love to get him to actually being human again. So I honestly feel like he did not do it. He's just used to being bad. He's used to people seeing him bad. So the idea of someone could think that he's good when he knows that he's not, it's just
too much.
Doesn't, and
at all. And they're so good on the show about juxtaposing, because we get this one child who's going through this, and of course Sophia gets this whole, from Dante trying to get back with Nikki, but we see Sophia handle it so much differently.
Yes, very matured.
Very matured.
Very, very matured. But I could not get over her outfits. I'm like, what are you wearing? I'm like, what is this like the latest fashion? Like, am I just out of the loop? Am I too old that I just don't know this?
I always just remember like mother, like daughter when she's running, because I remember one of the seasons Grace was running all throughout the entire town. They always had her running every scene, and we start off with Sophia running here. But what do you think about the juxtaposition of the way she's handling this now, especially given her arc? She was really in emotional turmoil after finding about her reproductive issues. So what do you think about how she's kind of grown so far?
I think she's more of like, whatever happens. I'm just going to take it one year at a time. I'm not going to, life is too short already. I cannot have a child. Okay. I'm not going to waste my love on you if you cannot figure it out. So I honestly am very proud of her. And I like, I don't know if I wrote down the words that she said. Something about, oh my God, come on, get it out of your brain. Something about like she, like something about long-term things do not end so fast. Something like that. Viewers, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But I thought that was just like, so like, I'm like, ooh, hold up. She is speaking a word to me right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just really, really a different side of her. She might be dressing scandalous, but like up here, she's mature,
Oh yeah, and she was like, I'm not upset, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed, but I'll move on, I'll get over this, no big deal.
Yeah, I was like, we all need to learn that, like no point of fighting, with a woman for a man or vice versa. Like there are many fishes, as they say. There are many fishes to wash.
They gave us those magic moments, and I love that they really focused on Bishop and Mae and how prayerful they are with of course Mae fasting, and then Bishop, when the board shows regret, I think it was Corinne comes in and they're all regretting their decision that they made, and he said, let's pray. Yeah. And I thought that was so poignant that he didn't say let's action plan, let's move, let's take over. He said let's pray. What did you think about that that scene and the way they're using prayer in this season?
Well, I think it definitely brought it back to why the show is what it is. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be centered on the church, centered on God, centered on God leading us to to every part of our life and what action we should take. And I think once they did it, I was just like, I was like, okay, let's pray. All right, let me bow my head also. Speak to me, Bishop. Speak to me. I think it was really good because like sometimes we forget to let God take control. Mm-hmm. We just want to do it on our own. Oh, I had the answers to this, so let me just go do it. And we forget to just let God be the center of every situation that we have, and let him take the first step. Because when he takes the first step, every other thing will just be in line, with what we want to do. And we see ourselves going into the path that it's meant to be. So I thought that was really good. And as a bishop, that's what he should do. As the leader, that's what he should do. So I thought that was very defining of the show.
Yeah, and we see him getting his family back together, even though they've lost everything. They still have the family.
Sweet.
When he told Charity get in the car, and she says, "You really want me there?" And he says, "Get in the car." That was a special moment.
That was like, this is what family's supposed to be. I don't like you right now, but I love you.
Exactly.
Like I might kick you out, but I'll still call you for Sunday dinner.
Yeah, especially when at the top of the show, she was talking about how rejected she was by the family, that she had nobody. So it was nice to see that she still has the family. Yeah. Charity's not gone.
Yeah. No, it was really, really sweet. At the end of the day, when all else fails, when the world chastises you, when everything goes wrong, your family is always going to be there.
Yes, and of course now we have to get into our predictions for all these wonderful and amazing characters. Let's start with Charity. What are your predictions for Charity? And we'll go down some of the major characters for the season. But what are your predictions for Charity?
She's acting. Let me tell you why. She's acting. Yep, she's playing the she's playing the game.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that she is a little slow. Everybody thinks that she doesn't, that she's not a strong person. She doesn't have everything put together in her head, which sometimes she is. Let's just be very honest with herself. Sometimes she is. I'm like, Charity, what is wrong with you? Be strong. But I think that she knows that Grace has failed. Her mom has failed. Her brother definitely failed. That one failed a long time ago, like 3 seasons ago. Bishop has failed. The only person who no one can predict to take over the church is Charity.
Yeah, I agree with you. Charity does have a unique position right now.
Yeah.
And while I think she is emotionally weak and emotionally not the smartest, she's a smart woman.
Yes.
And so I think maybe she's been hurt enough to start to use her brain instead of her heart right now.
And I mean, just keep in mind that she's been able to pick herself up from all of the pain right from season one. You know, she's never really gotten there where she's like a strong, you know, the strong family person or the strong woman that they all are, the strong people that they all are. But she's been able to do her best to the, you know, to her own ability. She's picked herself back up in every pain. And I think she's going to do that here. I think she's going to find a way to take over the church, get all of the dirt, while still playing lovey dove kind of person.
Yeah, I think she'll surprise us. And I think we're going to see what happens when a character like Charity feels loved. Not that she hasn't been loved or hasn't been elevated or they haven't tried to, you know, just hold her. But I think when they feel that way, when she feels empowered, I think you're going to see a character that's a lot stronger than maybe all of them. So it'll be interesting to see how she develops.
Yeah.
How about Jacob and this child? Do you think this child is his, or as she said, I would have gotten rid of it if it was yours. Do you believe her?
I almost I want to believe that is not his, but I have a feeling that that the child is his. Yeah. But you could see the sign of relief that he had once she had told him that it's not, you know, his child, because he was looking every 2 seconds like, child, turn your face. I want to see your face. If it looks like me, do you look like me? You know.
Well, the best part of that is we were doing the same thing as the audience. You know, Jacob was doing it, and we were doing the same. You could see how nervous he was. He was like,
stop playing with that pot. Turn your face. I want to see you. Like, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, he's looking for mannerisms, anything. Do you think he will end up with this mistress, or did he get back with Kerissa?
He's gonna get back. They're gonna get back together.
Yeah,
they're definitely. I mean, they would separate. They definitely would separate. She's gonna get what she's, you know, what she wants. She's gonna get her big house and all that, but she's going to also realize that that's not really gonna make me truly happy. Yeah, you know, but they're definitely going to separate. He's gonna go to one of his mistresses. That's going to happen. But at the end of the season, I feel like they're gonna come back together.
Yeah, and what do we think for AJ, and what do you think? Is AJ alive? And then we'll move on to Grace. But how do you think AJ is surviving this?
AJ is definitely gonna survive this.
You think? I don't know, because it was one of those things where it was like they tried to leave it ambiguous, but as I'm looking, I'm like, it doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good, but he's definitely going to make it. And I'm hoping that when he makes it, that he truly figures a way to, you know, to accept the love that Grace has for him. You know, it's not going to be perfect. She cannot go back to when he was a child. You know, he just needs to be able to accept the love that he has, that she has for him now, and kind of like grow with that. But if he doesn't make it, that's going to be really bad. But I think he's going to make it.
But I can say if he does make it, it's going to be a painful arc for him to get a story of healing, because he's got a lot of work to do. If he
has a lot. He has a lot. But honestly, for Grace, I just want Grace to win. I feel like Grace has just been on a roller coaster also. Yeah. Just like Charity, Grace has had her own, you know, battle. I just want her to just win, had, you know, both of her children, you know, doing well, you know, she, you know, finally loving someone again. Like,
who's the someone? Darius or Noah?
Darius.
Is that a personal choice, or is that for Grace?
If you don't want him, girl, send him to me. I'm very single. I mean, do you see that, man?
So you're Team Darius.
I'm Team Darius. Yes, yes. I might change my mind next week. Who knows? But for right now, yeah. Team.
Well, I am interested in seeing the healing of Noah and AJ and Grace if AJ does survive this. I do want to see that family unit heal in a way that makes it work for all of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, our ultimate prediction for the season: do the family get the church back? And if there's no way I can predict if they get it back, how they would do so. But if you have a prediction on that, I'll take it.
I don't think they're gonna get it back. I think it's definitely going to dismantle. I feel like they're going to build something better. Mm-hmm. You know, something stronger. With most of their old members and a fresh new members.
Yeah, I think they might somehow preserve that original building, but we'll find out. Because they're planning to get rid of the building, so we'll see if they're able to at least preserve that and build on something new.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Hope and Harmony getting exposed, but
it's
I
gonna
want to
take
find
a while.
Exactly. I want to see how that happens.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while. I actually want to see it play out in terms of like, you know, the whole Senate run and, you know, seeing how the church would vote and all that, because I want to see this is gonna be really real life.
Yeah, and I want to see Judy come back. I want to see Judy come back, and Judy and Charity have to have a little,
I do, absolutely. That would be fun to see.
Yeah, we got an explosive season ahead. Hopefully you guys are watching. You guys are giving us 5 stars. We love to hear you guys in the comments. Feel free to reach out to us. We love talking about this show. QueenEsther Ekanem, where can they find you online?
Oh, very simple. Instagram and Facebook, it will be QueenEsther E, all one word, QueenEsther E. And you can also find me on my YouTube page, QueenEsther Ekanem, and Ekanem is spelled Ekanem.
Amazing. You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong. We will see you guys next week with a full panel, Wednesday, 7 p.m. See you guys.
Thank you, guys. Come back.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.